Let's go check out Monastery, right? That's where we're going?
That's what I'm still at, so...
Okay, so Monastery. What was your goal again? Like, what were you supposed to be doing?
I was either going to train with Brother Bastion, or I was going to help the spirits of the East.
Well, pick one.
Probably gonna talk to Fico first.
Okay, about what?
Just stuff.
Like what? I mean...
No,
So you just randomly walk up to him, with nothing in mind.
I have something in mind.
Okay, well what is the something? Because, you know, Fico's not good with small talk. He doesn't do small talk.
I know.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna be like... Do you have any problems with other spirits except for these?
looks like not really, no.
Strange. Then why don't the other ones want you to know that? Oh well.
Well, it's like, oh, why are they trying to withhold information from me? Yeah, they like to play the little games. I let them. But in the end, I end up knowing what they know anyway.
Well. Why would they want my help?
It's like, well, you're the one that's quote-unquote expendable, and it won't be a big loss if you're gone.
Well,
I use that term liberally. Because we're realizing you have value, but at the same time, there's a problem with that value. And so, like, he's pulling out what looks like a little booklet. It's like, or I could use other wording. Let's see. Although his martial prowess is good, his moral value is not, and all types of other words, and let's see. So he's going through a book and he's listing off random things that other people have described you as.
well.
Let's see. Unworthy of the draconic image. Has too much of a temper, and there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so are you going to state what you want, or are you like, you're just there to talk to him?
I just want to check up if
Okay.
he had any problems with the spirits of the East.
It's like, oh, thank you for the concern, but I got everything in hand.
I'm gonna roll this then next. Whoa, that's a lot.
That's a total of 6.
That's the most I've had till now.
Well, because you rolled high.
What do I want to do?
Uh-oh.
Do I get my 500 favor already or not?
No. I didn't add that.
What?
I said you're supposed
still
to add that, not me.
No, but do I get it already? Because last time I didn't get it because I was in dragon form.
No, you do. Well, I don't know, let's roll on it. Yeah, you do. So you get 1,000.
1,000? Alright.
1 for today, and 1 for the time that you didn't get it.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna spend both of it on a level, so not even gonna add it.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna spend 1 on a level and the other one I'm gonna keep.
What's the other one for?
1 level and 1 I'm gonna keep for
Alright.
other stuff like food.
Yeah, because being completely broke is not the answer.
Nope. And now I'm gonna upgrade my strength. And that's about it that I can do right now.
I still got the 6 Lord rolls you didn't spend.
6.
Yeah, because you rolled
Yeah,
twice
yeah,
high, so you got 3.
Yeah.
You got 6 in total.
I'm just doing stuff I had to do before this.
Well, you don't have to do it before, but you did it anyway.
I'm gonna... How much equipment do I have? I'm gonna upgrade my equipment by 60.
Okay, hold on, let me go... So you're gonna put it all in equipment?
No.
No?
3 in equipment, so I have 30 more equipment, so I'm at 150.
Yeah.
160, not 150. And then...
Wait, that's 4, because it was at 120 last time.
Yeah, it's at 120, right.
Yeah, you said put 4. Put 3
Nope,
in there would
never mind.
make it 150. Oh, hold on, let me double check that before
No, it's 20 each.
Yeah, it's 20
I'm
each, so
getting it
yeah,
wrong.
150. It's... Wait, it's still... Yeah, it's 160,
No.
right, so let's go with that.
Alright then.
Okay, so that's 2.
And then upgrading my garrison with the rest of the points.
So that's an extra 20.
Could be, yes.
Okay, so that's another 10 soldiers of your soldier type, so that's...
Unless it's something else.
Yeah, unless you add something else. Let's see, can you add something else? No, so it has to be the same.
Alright.
It's pretty much, why would you... It's... They've been seeking a lot of allies, why would you add more, like, diverse allies? You already have a lot of allies
true.
to begin with. So, it's one of those, you don't want to make the army too complicated, because the more complicated the army becomes, the more specialized it becomes, and then it becomes easier to kill.
No, true.
Because you're not strong in one... Well, it works both ways. It's you. If you're strong in one department, you're easily beat. But if you can pick off... Like, if it's diverse, you can pick off the pieces. Either way, you have a vulnerability. So,
Probably.
this is how it goes.
How much is food at right now?
I don't know, roll it.
8.
8, not that bad.
Alright, I'm gonna minus 24.
I don't think Tim needs to actually eat. Half the time, half your characters, they don't actually eat anything. I'm surprised he's extra dimensional, so he doesn't have to worry about that. And it's like your characters always, the mundane needs are never a problem. No, for like Annabelle and stuff. So it pretty much comes down to, you can tell the mood in the garrison's a little bit low, because I guess word of what you did has spread, and so everyone knows that you didn't really apologize to Oso. Like, you just kind of said, that's, you gave a reason as to why it happened and all that. You didn't actually say sorry. Or at least that's what they perceived. So the mood in the garrison is a little bit low, because, their quote-unquote lord shot their own ally, even under deception, and they didn't even apologize for that. Nor did you seem to say that you're going to do anything to prevent it in the future. You're just going to do what you always do. So their faith in you has been shaken a little. So what now? I mean, what do you do at that point?
I just asked Vico, is it a urgent matter to go to the east.
Okay. Just likely yes. Because if you don't, the undead will. We don't even know. Like, you know, we've lost contact with them a few days ago. So for all we know, the undead are already there.
Well,
why? What is your? So this is Fico asking. It's like, why? What's more prominent? What's more urgent?
Trying to fix things between you now, so.
Well, it's like, and he kind of laughs, and it's like, so, your personal wants and needs are more important than your empire. So he's trying to point that out.
No, it isn't.
It's like, and yet here we are, having this. It's like you would rather. It's if you had the choice, you would rather patch things up with your quote-unquote girlfriend than try and save a group of people that you barely know.
Oh, I still have the choice, so,
Okay, so
I was just
like, very
making
true,
sure
very
that
true.
I make the right decision.
Okay.
That's why I was asking.
Well, it's like, so far you haven't been making all the right decisions.
I know.
So
Sadly enough, that's the case.
it's like, yeah, I'm trying. So like, he's like, yeah, rumor of the whatever's have been happening has been spreading, and he's been trying to quash it a bit, saying, you know, it was dark magic, it was in extremis, all this other things, but you know, there's the image still remains the same. It's that you shot your own ally, and you didn't really like regret. It didn't seem like you regretted it in any sort of way, shape, or form, and you didn't actually make it known that you regretted any of it. It's like you shot her and things happen. That's how. So very callous attitude is what they believe. And so it's like, and he's floating close to you. He's floating closer to you. It's like, you know, between you and me, I already know that that's not going to change. That, you know, you're the type of person to just rush headlong into the assault and not really think it through too much. It's just going to lead you to have a callous outlook on things.
Well,
So I already know that, you know, in a way, they are as correct as they can be, because they are right. You do have a disregard for much else. So, and Fico's like, he's got his hands behind his head, and he's just kind of lying there. So like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to have them know the honest? Do you want? And there's like, do you want them to be? Do you want to be honest with them? Because I can tell you that could potentially make you lose your lord status. People want to be led by someone who's noble and actually has their best interest in heart. They don't want to be led by some random stranger who doesn't care if they live or die.
at that point, I just kind of answer more angrily at Fico, like, everyone seems to think I don't care about Oso.
It's like,
Or about you guys.
and then he just laughs. It's like, that's not even what we were talking about. See, you're so concerned about your own concerns that you forget that there are other concerns outside of just you.
I just
So, like,
placed
your
behind
first thing,
or
because,
you guys.
say what?
I also said, or you guys.
Yeah. It's like, but that's always inflected last. That's never inflected first. You know, in a way, we're secondary. We're not really the primary. We're not in your overarching goals. We're just kind of this thing on the side. So, and Figa's like, and if I had to guess, it's really because of what we can provide. It's the income, and that's the only reason you're even bothering. And that's like, adventurers are influenced by golden riches, am I right?
To some extent, yes.
Yeah, so it's like, at least you agree on that. It's like, it still bugs the question, though, you know. Do you want the people to know the honest truth, or do you want me to lie to them? It's like, because like, he's got a wicked smile. It's like, because the truth does not paint a very pretty picture.
Of course it doesn't. But when does it ever?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, very true, very true. Alright, so, and he's like, since you're having a hard time deciding, I'll decide for you. I guess I'll let them know. So, it's like, he's gonna, so he's like floating off. It's like, you know, I'll compile a report, see if I can try and dig up some good you've done in this land.
Well,
it's like maybe not everything you've done is self-serving. Maybe there is something you've done nobly. But does it outweigh? So he kind of chuckles like, but does it outweigh all the things you've done for your own self?
Well, I'm definitely going to help the other one, the spirits to the east. I was just trying to see.
It's like, and he kind of like he holds up a finger and he wags it. It's like, be careful. That's like, because if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, then it'll just add to the weight on your shoulders.
I'm just doing it because they asked me.
Well, it's like, oh, it's never that simple.
Well, they put a lot of effort in it to go past the normal things of doing. So.
Wait, say what?
They put a lot of effort in the facts that Vigo shouldn't have known.
It's like, oh, well, they didn't put that as much effort as they said they would.
Yeah, well, at least they still tried.
It's like, that they're trying is getting a little tiring, though. I have to do something about that.
Well, I'm going there, and I'll ask them to stop.
And so, like, it's like, he, like, pops in front of you. It's like, nah, this is for me to handle. I don't like other people fighting my battles. I will handle it myself.
Alright.
So, that's like, it's, and he points out, it's like, would you like someone fighting your battle?
Good question.
That's like, exactly. So I don't want anyone fighting my battles either. It's like, I'll handle it. It usually happens.
Well.
So he starts floating the other way.
I'm going towards the... Actually, no.
To us quickly.
I'm going to the library first.
Why so?
To ask the direction. Except for just east.
So he doesn't know. So it's like, what do I look like? Explorer? I don't know the directions.
Well, don't you have a map in here?
That's like, and like he's it's like, and then he looks at the table and it's like, oh, yeah, I guess I do. So, and he's holding up the map and it's like, well, I guess this is what you're looking for.
Probably.
But and then he turns around and it's like, but I don't know, it wasn't on my table before. Where did this come from?
I guess Pico pulled a little trick.
Yeah. So, and Fico's like over on the side. It's like, you could say that. And then like he jumps and he's like, what are you doing here? It's like, oh, you thought you could hide information from me. I'm just here to tell you that you can't. And that I'm just gonna use your information, send this person on his merry way. So, and like Fico does a hand gesture like saying, you know, go on your merry way.
Alright then.
Okay, so what are you gonna do now? Just go?
Go to the east, to where the other...
You will be doing it alone, because all your allies are apparently... Their faith in you has been shaken.
Didn't...
So... Like, they don't even know if you can really protect them, or if you will even try to protect them. At all. So, their faith, like, they're starting to question everything. Like, you know, if worse comes to worse, will he actually do anything to prevent my death, or will he just stand there? Alright, I gotta change maps. Oh wait, I did change maps.
Yeah,
So you need to travel to the east.
I probably have to roll this.
Yep. So it's a pretty lonely, it's a lonely road.
Well, this gives me time to think.
Yeah. So what are you thinking about as you're marching through? You know, you're basically on your own for the first time in a long time.
I'm just thinking that I should really try to get less aggressive immediately with enemies.
Okay. It's not so that's what you're thinking, but remember, it's not so much the aggression, it's thinking things through. That was the main lesson he was saying. So, and you apparently did not catch on, actually, let's roll on that. So, you kind of caught on, but you're thinking the wrong things, which is, you're thinking I need to be less aggressive, I need to be this or that, but you're not thinking of the main
That's the thing,
problem.
Trick.
So what?
Because I'm not thinking things through.
Yeah.
I'm
even
being
thinking
aggressive
even
because
thinking
I'm
about
not
thinking things through, you're not thinking
things
it through. What type of conundrum do we have here? So
No, Trick.
yeah, you're
I'm
not even
thinking
thinking
about
your
being-
thoughts correctly.
Look, I'm thinking about how to become less aggressive,
Yeah.
because we can become.
So, yeah.
Because I'm that aggressive, I don't think things through. That's
Yeah,
just
you're
how
thinking, but that's not the
he's
root cause.
thinking.
The root cause is still you're not thinking things through. The aggression has nothing to do with it.
That's just what he thinks it is.
Yeah, that's what he thinks it is. So, okay, so you arrived here. Do you see anything into the zone, or do you now that you have awareness? Okay, so well, you can't fail it. Just so you see most of the land. The land looks pretty like it doesn't look like there's another monastery or anything that direction.
I just kind of
Yeah,
shrug
it's
and say,
like you're
could be
and remember
another-
you're flying. Oh, are you able to fly, or are you able to? You said you had yeah, you have flight, so so you have more control over your body because remember you got electrocuted and it altered your muscle structures and reconnected some synapses that weren't connected when you went into this form.
Apparently.
Of course, then that was the problem of this is now semi-permanent because of said change.
Well. Because I don't really see another monster, I just kind of like shrug and think at myself like,
Yeah.
probably another illusion.
What? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do now? Do you just start exploring the zone?
I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
See if I see the the spirits which needed my.
Well, they're gonna aid you, so it's more than just that you could see them. I'm trying to see which of these has been calibrated. It's been a while since I actually looked at some of these assets. Okay, so what do I got? Okay, so you are aware, correct? And you can
Yes.
see the spirits and they will aid you.
Yes, I can.
So here's where it gets a little strange. Because you start seeing like soldiers, like they're marching in a direction, but it's like echoes of the past.
Ah, great. Echoes of the past again.
Yeah. So you're
I've
seeing
been
soldiers
seeing these
walking
lately.
forward, and then they stop. They stop, they turn, and they look at you. And then their formation falls in, and they go into like a phalanx. And then all their weapons are pointed outward. Or they're pointed to, rather in your direction.
What?
And so one of them speaks
actual-
something in Draconic. Do you understand it? That's like,
Rather
no,
not.
because it is a very... You get the feeling that it's a very ancient dialect of Draconic. You can't understand his accent.
Great.
And so, like, they have their weapons out and they're pointing them at you. They have these massive two-handed spears. So,
Just a question, just to check up on things.
yeah.
Can I speak Draconic of now?
I don't know, try it. It's like, you try speaking to them and no,
Nope.
they don't understand your dialect and you don't understand their dialect. So... and it's not enough to convince them that you're not a monster or something that they need to kill. No, they're not bees. They're yellow drakes. So they can understand your Draconic and you can't understand their Draconic. So what do you do at this point? I mean, they have weapons drawn and they're ready to attack if you make a threatening move.
Does Sains know any holy languages?
Would they be able to understand me if I were to talk normal? Just common.
I don't know, try it. Do they understand just common? Okay, so you just try using common, and they're taken aback by it, but they can also speak common. So you start talking to them in common, and then, like, they look at each other, and then one of them comes forward, and it's like, who are you? What are you doing here? This is a restricted area.
My name is Sains, and someone sent a letter to the keep I'm
Okay, so
at.
they recognize the name, and then, like, immediately, they recognize the name, and then they go into, like, sort of an aggressive stance. So it's like, you who have led our people astray, and other peoples astray, the greatest betrayer.
I haven't led anyone astray.
So, it's like, we will not believe your lies, betrayer.
You are probably talking about my father, though.
Okay. And so, like, he looks at the other ones, and they kind of shrug. It's like, what madness do you speak of?
Well,
Because remember, you have to keep in the time frame. It's their minds may be stuck in the past, so they don't know that Saints had a son, and that this may be the current time.
I am not. I am born from a union of a blue and a black dragon.
Okay. And so it's like they're trying to believe it, but they're having a hard time believing any of what you're saying because they haven't seen it come to pass. It's like, what? Impossible. No dragon flight would intermingle.
Well, they did, and they succeeded, which got them killed.
Then so it's like so like they have their weapons in front of them. It's like, how do we know this isn't just a trick?
Because if it was a trick, why would I still be standing here talking to you?
It's like, because you're waiting again. So one of them from the side, it's like, because you're waiting for the right moment to strike.
No. Okay. Then I would have told you something completely different. Also.
Okay. It's like, or you would have told us the same thing you've already told us.
No, I wouldn't.
So, and so, like, And so, like, they're starting to back away now that they see, like, they don't trust you, and their weapons are drawn, and they're like, one of those main soldiers just points his head the other direction, and they start traveling the other direction, like with weapons out.
I just kind of wait till they are out of sight.
Yeah, and they just hustle, like they're like, you know, they're walking in spear form, and then they just hustle out of there.
Strange fellas.
So now what? I mean,
Onwards towards the place where they needed my help.
okay, do you even know where it is? Like,
Apparently I do.
okay, so
Sort of.
it's really just supposition. It's the easiest way to think of it is, okay, so those soldiers were walking away, right? The easiest way to do it is to follow them, just to track them to where they might go. Maybe they might lead you to the right spot.
Well, probably.
So D100, are you able to track them at all? So of course, but they don't lead you to where you think you're supposed to go.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it would never be that easy.
Well, maybe, just maybe.
No, it's never that easy. Well, sometimes it is, most of the time it isn't. Okay, so so you head over, and it looks like a small encampment, and you see the 6 yellow drakes you just encountered, along with the rest of their squad, which is another 3. And so they have sentries, but how far? You're like 20 feet away from them, so you're able to not be seen by them, right?
Yes.
So you're pretty far away from them, so you can't be seen by them. Even though they're yellow dragons and they have enhanced eyesight, you're stealth master. I mean, it's gonna be hard to see you. So you can see them, and you see that there's a ring. Can you hear what they're saying from where you are?
Apparently
you
I can.
but they are speaking in the ancient
Of
Draconic
course.
dialect. They're not speaking in common.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Can I try to understand it?
Okay, so you can try to understand it again. I mean, like, you can just keep trying, so you still can't understand what they're saying.
I'd want to ask someone to learn me that one.
So, like, they're talking, and then you see one of them wave their, like, the main one, which you assume is the main one because he's got a more ornate armor. He's gesturing for the rest to fall in and just get closer. So they're still speaking in ancient Draconic, and then they just start moving.
Alright then.
So they're moving that way. Are you gonna tail them?
I'm gonna follow them, but from a distance that they can't see me.
Okay, so you're able to. You're pretty much focused on the task at hand. So spirit sight, you can easily see where they're going. Roll a d4. So they will be. It's actually relatively close to where there is. So, like, you didn't see it initially, but they're walking towards, like, you're in tow, and they're walking that way. And they're making good progress because they're spirits, they're not weighed down by much. But you see that they're approaching what looks like a giant monastery. Which wasn't there when you first started, because by the looks of it, it's not exactly... Oh shit. What the hell? You guys see the giant box?
That's great.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was weird. It's
That
just...
was great.
It's an outline of a monastery. It's if it was the monastery... Why is it doing that? It, like, extends the box way beyond the... Okay, let's just do that then. See that they're approaching a monastery, and you see that the monastery is very ghost-like. It's not exactly solid stone.
Hmm.
Some of it is, like, you
Strange.
see that the bottom, some of the bottom parts are. You see much larger yellow drakes at the front door. So, still ancient draconic. They're not talking in standard tongue.
Of course they aren't.
Okay, so, well, let's not do those yet. So you see the large ones. They're talking in that tongue, and they're just let in. Like, the door's open, the squad goes in, and then the door's shut. But D100, let's see here. So you see that they're like, one of them sniffs the air, and then he says something to his colleague, and he sniffs the air as well, and then they both go on guard and start moving towards your position. Okay, so you're backing away. Do they see the movement? They do see the movement.
Hmm.
So now, instead of like, now they're just sprinting towards your position.
I'm just gonna wait.
Okay, so you're just gonna wait where you are, and it's not hard to find you. I mean, they can smell you. Literally, they can smell you. So you didn't disguise your scent. So now they're right there, and they are wearing a lot better armor. You can tell these are another elite warriors because they have full plate armor, and their weapons are a combination. I mean, it's a staff, but it has multiple types of weapons on it. Like, you can tell that some of it can be swung. It's made of a heavy metal, so it can be swung to do impact damage. It has sharp edges and pointed edges so that it can stab or slash. So these are elite warriors. And so it's trying to speak to you in Ancient Draconic to see if you understand. Like,
Can I understand it now?
do you get the gist of what he's asking? So you do get the gist of what, he's asking, do you speak Draconic? So, how do you respond? You can't actually speak their language.
Just answering common. I speak Draconic, but not your
Okay, so
dialect.
what are you in common?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like you speak common.
Yes, I do.
It's like, and so he asks, "Who are you?"
My name is Jack.
Okay, so is that believable? So they believe that. It's like, and what are you doing here?
Well,
This area is off limits to outsiders.
I was asked to come here.
Okay, it's like, by whom?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, it's like, you're not making a convincing argument.
I actually genuinely don't know who asked me to come here. They just said they needed help over this side of the region.
It's like, but who sent you?
Nobody. I came of my own volition.
I say, so like he's putting all the pieces together, and it's like, then you weren't sent by anyone, and likely you're making all of this up.
No, I'm not.
It's like, and he kind of looks at the other one with that look of, really? Are we gonna play this game? I guess we're playing this game with this person. That's like, well, when you come back with information on whoever sent you, I'll let them know that we'll roll out the red carpet for you. Now, if you'd be so kind as to leave, we won't have to do
Nobody
anything
sent
drastic.
me. I'm just telling you, nobody sent me. I just came of my own
And
choice.
it's like, we don't need people coming of their own choice. Leave now.
I just got this letter from someone over this side of the region, and I just show it to him.
Okay, so he takes the letter, and then like he goes over to him, and he shows him the letter. It's like, And so he looks back at you, and he looks back at the letter, and then he comes to a decision. He's like, very well. You know, maybe next time you'll lead off with important documentation instead of this story that nobody sent you.
Well, nobody sent me.
Yeah, so.
It still is true.
And so he's like, he's getting frustrated. It's like, ugh, just come on. And so, like, they open the door and they just tell you to go inside. Like, they're not going to escort you in or anything. So, the squad is over here.
One of them yells, "Ah, get him!"
And you can tell there's a larger one in the, like, this is a big Drake. I mean, he dwarfs all of his soldiers.
Well,
And they're talking, they have to look up to talk to him because he's so huge. And so, like, they're talking, and then he's looking over, like, he looks up and he looks at you.
Licks his lips.
Yeah. Does he? No. So he, like, where the other ones have, like, he has two great weapons. Basically, he has double staffs, and they both have the combination of weaponry on them. So he's like a berserker type lord, or whatever the hell he is.
well.
So he's looking, so he's got them across his back in an X pattern, and he's looking at you, and then he kind of just waves an arm over for you to come that way.
I just...
So, and the other soldiers
Go
are
on
smart
there.
enough not to, like, they pretty much say, you know, he says stand right before him, and the other soldiers get out of the way.
I'm just gonna...
What, you're gonna keep your distance?
No, I'm gonna stand right in front of him. I just
Okay.
forgot to change something, because I changed something else.
What'd you
I just
change?
remembered
Wait, what?
that. I put my strength to 50, but I didn't change the damage I did.
Okay.
So that's what I just did. That's why
You
I was
don't
so
actually
bad.
have to change the damage because it's supposed to be automatic. You put it
Yeah,
in
well,
the...
It didn't go automatic, so...
Okay, so... Yeah, why didn't your
Only
strength
one.
alter? No, your strength is 40 still on my sheet.
Oh.
Go to your sheet.
You
and
forgot to
press
hit
enter.
enter, probably.
Now it should have changed.
Still not changed for my sheet. Hold on, let me double check.
You're looking on
No.
the right one.
Yeah, I am looking at the... There, now it changed. So,
Right.
it's like,
Great. That's
and
sweet.
so it's like, I'm told you got by the guards with a note from me. Do you mind if I see it?
Here. And I hand it.
So he hands it
to him,
over,
so-
and he's looking it over. And it's like, I don't recall sending this out. Where did you get this from?
My librarian.
Okay. It's like, so you have your own library. Interesting. And it's like, so he's reading the note, and it's like, well, I'm afraid to say that this note was a false summons. It doesn't seem like it was correct. All the information, I don't see any attacks happening here. It's been quiet on this front for a while. You've been the only thing to really disturb the peace.
Well, I've not really disturbed anything, so...
And so it's like, maybe in your mind, young one. But there are such a it's like, it's not called a restricted area for no reason. We call it as such so that we have our own privacy out here with our own monastery. You seem to have broken that privacy.
Well, only because I got this letter from
Like,
whoever.
yes, which I don't remember sending out, so... It is in my handwriting, and I can confirm that it is imbued with some of my magic, but I do not recall sending such a note out.
Strange.
It's like, plus, judging by the smell, you are either related to Sains or are important to him in some way.
He's my father.
Yeah, so... It's like, that can't be true. Sains doesn't have any children.
He's my father.
Yeah, so... That's like, I find that hard to believe. What proof do you have?
Maybe the fact that we share the exact same name.
It's like, that could mean a lot of things. You could either have stolen the name, or you could be... He could have gifted it to you. You don't have to be his son to have his name. Or someone could have named their child after him.
Of course I can see them, but
Yeah.
I can't
Can't get the
have
raid.
hate from them. God damn it.
That's like, it's like, well, do you have any proof of any type that these claims are true?
Well, you could always ask my father in the spirit world.
It's like, what madness are you speaking of? This isn't a spirit world. That's like, we do everything in our power to keep the spirits out of this zone.
But why though?
Into rest. Having them linger here is not in our purview.
That's why I probably got a letter.
It's like, what do you mean? That's like, because if I did so, who gave you this letter?
My librarian.
Okay. It's like, and who is your librarian?
A spirit.
Okay. And so it's like, you're making this sound worse and worse. You know you sound crazy, correct?
Yes, I know I sound crazy, but I am
It's like,
still
and you
not.
expect me to believe any of this?
No, I don't. I'm just telling you the truth. It's up to you to believe it or not.
It's like, well, I don't believe it. So, it may be the truth to you, but then again, truth is in the eye of the beholder, am I right?
Indeed.
So, what you say is likely true to you, and you alone.
No, I have some other people that can see them.
Okay, so it's like, say I humor you. Say I did summon you. Why did I summon you?
Well, the letter says you need... that the spirits need aid.
It's like, and again, I see no spirits around here. We do our best to put them to rest.
Yes,
No, it's
I know that. That's just what I got from the letter, and what I got told from my librarian.
Sounds
So-
like a cruel practical joke, if you ask me.
Probably to test me.
Yeah.
To see if I was actually going to come.
That's like, yes, putting your life at risk at the hands of yellow drakes is definitely a test. So, like, you can sense the sarcasm.
Well, I didn't know you guys were yellow drakes. So,
Okay, it's like either you're a fool or you're just oblivious to everything around you.
at first, when I was leaving where I was before coming here, I didn't know I was going towards yellow drakes.
It's like, okay, we could play this dance around and see what's right game, or we could just go to plan 2, which is simply you leaving and not coming back.
Just a question. Where... You're probably gonna hate me for this.
Okay.
Where is the Holy One?
Where's what?
The Holy One.
It's like, and so it's like, what do you know of the Holy One? How do you know of him?
Well, he's one of the 3 confirmed.
And
That's
so like he
Elder
like
Dragons.
he reaches down and he picks you up, and it's like, where is he?
In the spirit world. But he transferred his
It's
powers.
like, what
to
nonsense
another
are you
world.
speaking? So, and he's shaking you as he's holding you, like, you know, this is no time for games.
Wait. Stop shaking me, please.
So, so it's like, sorry, but I'm trying to emphasize the point.
Yes, I know this is no time for games.
Okay.
The yellow drake transferred his powers to another yellow
And remember,
drake.
you're talking in the future tense. He doesn't know that you're from the future or that he's in the past.
And he was in the sunken ruins.
And so, like, he drops you immediately, And then he starts marching over to soldiers. Like, he's ignoring that you even were here. It's like, get all the drakes together. We have a mission. So, and he's looking at you. It's like, I thank you for your advice, but we have a crusade to prepare for. So, I would ask that you kindly leave.
Well, there is a lever on the side of a wall, which opens up the compartment where he was. If the second room.
So he's listening to that, but he's doing two things at once. Like, he's organizing. You see a lot of the drakes coming together. Like, they're coming together. There's a couple large ones with them. Hold on, let's see. How many squads are we looking at? So we're looking at a lot of squads. I mean, we're talking like rows of the smaller drakes and then some of the larger ones. So, like, definitely when he said crusade, he was not kidding. So, like, he's bringing all of the yellow drakes together. And a fairly large number of champions, meaning, like, it's a whole squad. Like, they have a squad of champion drakes.
Well, that's certainly something to see.
So, quite a few drakes. And so, like, he's not even paying attention to you anymore. He's giving a briefing to his, like, he's giving an ancient draconic briefing to the drakes.
Can I understand any of it?
And then we'll try it. Can you understand it? So no, you can't. So but you can tell he's getting very passionate about whatever he's saying. So, like, but here's the strange thing, is they're talking and then all of a sudden the volume goes away. Like, then the draconic just stops. Like, you can still see him talking and you can still see him pointing at stuff. But the words are not coming out. And so, like, you hear a familiar voice, it's like shocking, isn't it? It's
Wait,
like,
what?
It's like, you're watching history in action. Do you know what event this is?
No, I don't.
And so he kind of chuckles. I see you're not a student of history.
Nope, never learned anything of it.
So, like, he's putting his hand. It's like, you're witnessing the death of your people. This is how it all started. All it took was one dragon coming here, telling them where the holy drake was, sealed away, and then they went and crusaded that area. Wiped everyone out looking for him. They never found him, though. They were given everything, they were given the information, but they weren't given enough. And so, like, he's pointing at the big one. It's like, ironically, if he had chosen a better path, maybe his whole species wouldn't have died out. Maybe there would be a lot of blue drakes still alive. If he had just went diplomatic instead of conquering.
Well.
So, and you start to see the spirits fade out. So, like, and then all that's left is the large one. And so, like, Fico's got an evil smile on his face, but it's like, but you already know that, don't you? And so, like, you can tell now that instead of playing to an act, now he's definitely in his mind. Like, he knows what's going on. And so, like, he was talking to them in Draconic, and then he just kind of sighs. It's like, I was a fool. And so you start seeing all around you the whatever illusion there was, it was breaking. Like the monastery is now just a burnt out husk. It's not even a monastery anymore.
Thought as much.
The monastery is a burnt out husk. There's no yellow drakes here. The only one that seems to be here is him.
No, I mean, I thought as much about the illusions.
So it's like many years ago. So like he's turning away and he's walking a little bit that way. It's like many years ago I led my people astray. I led my people into open warfare, and what did that do for us? Nothing. A lot of my kin are dead by my order. It's like all because of an old rivalry, all because of we couldn't accept. And so Fico's like tapping you. It's like you understand what he means, right?
Sort of, yes.
Okay.
To an extent.
Fico, he reiterates, the great yellow dragon, the water keeper, and the holy one, they were a thing back in the day.
Oh yeah, that.
But their people couldn't accept it. And so their people destroyed each other because of it. So, the Holy Drake, he never forgave himself. He was the initiator of that relationship. He didn't think his people would destroy themselves because they wouldn't agree. That guilt led him to exile, and the Blue Drake sealed him away. But the Yellow didn't like that. They didn't like having their great lords separated from them. It's like, so they went on a crusade. It's like, and now he's got his weapons and he's taking them out and he's looking at them, and then he's just dropping them to the ground. And it's like, and he's asking like hypothetical questions like, how many of my kin did I slay? For what? For no gain. So, and Fico walks up, it's like, you still have purpose, though. It's not over yet.
I just kind of lift an eyebrow, like, what?
And so, like, they're looking at each other, like, he looks like he doesn't want to fight anymore, he just wants peace, he doesn't want to be here anymore, he already betrayed enough. So Fico's like, you could either sit here, in this temple, stuck forever by your own guilt, or you could do something about it. So, and he's like, and what would that be? And so he's pointing at you, and it's like, would you care to elaborate? Or do you want me to do all the talking?
Well, me and another person found the Holy One thanks to Fico.
Okay, so he like rolls his eye and it's like, it's always about you, isn't it?
Well, thanks to you we found the Holy One, which then
It's like,
transferred his
yeah,
powers
but
to
still,
Negro.
it's like, that wasn't what I wanted you to talk about. It's like, and then he just groans, it's like, fine, I'll explain it. And so, if you haven't put it, so he's floating above you, and it's like, if you haven't put it together yet, this is the son of Sains. So, he's a lot different from his father. Definitely a little bit more headstrong, more self-centered, but he's got his positive points somewhere. Also, all the great drakes are gone. What's left is their children. They need a guardian. So, and that immediately, like he picks up his weapons and resheathes them, and it's like, take me to them. And so Fico like claps his hands, and it's like, all right, cool. Well, that's done. Let's go.
All right.
So like they start walking away, and they're just leaving you in the temple.
I'm following them.
Yeah. And so, like, you can tell, like, Fico's telling him directions, then he just starts walking off on his own.
Why did I have to come here, Fico?
It's like, because he needed something to break him. Because without you, he would have been stuck in a perpetual time loop. Stuck in, quote-unquote, his tranquility of the temple.
How so? How so?
It's like, well, as you saw, they were a very self-contained order. He wouldn't have changed anything. They would have been stuck there forever.
Yeah, but how did I change anything about that?
Well, just being foolish, in general. You know, the whole note thing, which I did... It's like, which was... It took a little bit of magic to do that. I had tasked the librarian with that before you left. We had to imbue it with that piece of paper you got with just the right amount of magic in order to disguise it, thinking that it came from this guy. We know...
Right.
So... It's like, well, what do you feel about this? You know, allying with the Yellow Drake, who effectively killed off your race.
Well, that's not really true.
It's like, oh, how so? By his order, every Yellow Drake went and slayed every Blue Drake that they could find, driving them into extinction.
They didn't slay all of the Blue Drakes, so...
It's like, and that makes it better somehow.
I can live with me aligning with him just because he didn't slay the lost.
It's like, good. Then we are in agreement.
Everything does something wrong. No denying that.
Wait, what?
Just because he was asking me if I could live with the fact that he ordered...
That's like, oh yes, you can totally live with a mass murderer. Alright, cool. I expected no less. Now, I'll have to go iron out the details, though, because he's not exactly popular around our monastery.
Why not?
Well, for one, he did exterminate a lot of the population around the area.
Well,
plus, he is of the Order of Templar, which everyone seems to hate.
Wait, he was...
Oh, you mean the... oh, you didn't know?
I always thought
the Yellow
they
Drakes were the ones who
humans.
made the Order of Templar.
No, that I knew, but I always thought they were just humans.
It's like, oh, that's assuming. Most people thought they were a human, or that's really just a human mentality. They always thought they were humans. No. It's like, that's just what they put as a front. It was really the Yellow Drakes who were the powerhouses behind it. Where do you think they got all the training for holy magic from? What better place to get it than from the person closest to the magical source, the Yellow Drakes?
Well, that kind of explains dogma.
That's like,
They
yes,
came out the
Dogma
Yellow
is a
Drakes.
rare breed. In fact, we still need to... So he's like thinking. And then he pulls out his little booklet and he's leafing through it. He's crossing out... Do you see what's in the booklet? So you can't see, because he does it in a way where you can't see what's in it. So he's crossing something out, and then he's like, alright, what's next? What's next?
Me trying to figure out all the uses of this body.
Say what?
What about the list?
Okay. What about the list? No, he's not. It's not the list. It's he has his own personal book that he keeps information in.
Yeah, but what about the list?
Okay.
Last time you found out Tim can just cross stuff off of it.
Yeah, that's for later.